Welcome to the weekly wave. We're going to go ahead and get started. I know Eric's trying to join. It's a new link, so it might take him a minute to hop in, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing we are going to talk about is transfers. Okay, so if you're not aware, the online tool is now up and working, and parents will be able to click the student transfer online application link and complete the application by this link right here. So they'll populate their student's first name, middle name, last name, the date of birth, the grade level, gender, ethnicity, and if they don't have an STN, it's going to say check here, check the checkbox if the student have been enrolled in homeschool, private schools, or if the student is moving into Oklahoma from another state or country, or if the student has never attended a public school in the state of Oklahoma. So if they check that box, it will send it for the student to have an STN created. Or if the student has an existing STN, the parent will populate the fields below. So I do want to address the issue with the STN creation. Right now, we are having some difficulties making that happen, but I can tell you that when they populate this form, it is time, date, and it's dating and time stamping their application. So please be aware that that is happening. Also relating to transfers, you should still be reporting your capacity numbers you have until tomorrow to make sure that they're up on your website. So please be aware of that date. And currently the wave rollover is in progress. So the wave is going to be down until the 22nd. So prior to putting your SIP agent doing your rollover, you need to put your zone to sleep, because it's going to send or provide conflicting information on the years if you don't do that. And if you're having issues putting your zone to sleep, you either need to reach out to your vendor, or you can reach out to the student data info at sde.ok.gov for assistance. Next slide is PEBT training. The training modules are almost complete, and that training will show you how to make changes in the accountability reporting application. And at the time the training is available, you will also be able to go in and make changes at the same time that the training's been released. And Eric, do you have anything to say about that?
No, you got it. You nailed it on the head. So that's exactly correct.
Okay. And we're also getting ready for our WAVE consolidated training. And I've got the links here listed, and we will be posting this presentation to our student data info website on the Oklahoma State Department of Education site. So you can go in and click the links to register for whatever location you want to sign up for. And if you have problems the day of and need directions to the location, you can call us at the 405-522-6570, or if you have any other further inquiries, you can contact us at studentdatainfo@sde.ok.gov. And if you have any questions in relation to any of the information that I've covered, you can also email your questions to studentdatainfo@sde.ok.gov, or we do have a lot of good information on the SDE website at Student Information Documents and Guides. Please be sure to check that out. And other than that, I don't have anything else. Does anyone have any questions?
We will, before questions, we will be putting a banner out on our student information page. The very first thing when you click student information, right above those squares where it says the WAVE system, data certification, all that stuff, we're going to put a little banner out there temporarily, so you guys can click on that button and go directly to a web page that has the registration links for each one of those trainings this fall. So it'll be easier to find and quicker to register for those trainings.
Okay, and also I wanted to mention, if you're new to the wave calls or hadn't been joining them recently, we did change our the I guess the method in which we actually we changed platforms is what I'm trying to say. So you may not have attended them for some time and you got a new request or link. So if you haven't been attending and you're new to this, I want to welcome you and hope that you join these each week, because we do provide a lot of good information. So I do show we have one question. Did we ever hear back from accountability if a pass-fail grade will count properly for post-secondary? Michelle, not yet. I have not gotten information on that yet, but I've been told that we do think it does count, but the person that I asked wants to make sure that's the correct response. So as soon as I hear the response on that, I'll let everyone know.
I've got a question that was sent directly to me, and I'm going to read that out and give an answer, because even though they believe it might be a dumb question, it is not at all a dumb question, because we're getting this a lot. Okay. So when you put your STN in the transfer open transfer new transfer spot to find a student, when you're manually entering in a transfer form into the transfer application as a district, and you put the STN in and it brings up a student, it brings up the wrong grade. It brings up last year's grade. We're aware of this issue. We didn't think it was going to be this big of a problem for you guys. We are working on a solution. We have not found one quite yet. What it's looking at is it's looking at the most recent enrollment of that student is what it's looking for. And the most recent enrollment is from last year at this point, because the wave is down right now. And that is why you're seeing that. We haven't started receiving 2023 data yet, so we won't see their new grade until they enroll in a new year. So that is why that is happening. We didn't expect it to be this big of an issue. I apologize. That's an oversight on our fault, on our side. We are, like I said, we're working on a solution to try to figure out how to, because we can't just automatically roll them up to the next year, because not everyone automatically rolls up to the next year. And in some cases, we're seeing students that are coming back for the first time in a couple of years. So like Paula said in the chat, we're even seeing the first time, or we're seeing 2 years behind on some of these students. So we're not real sure on how to exactly make sure that you guys are seeing the right grade until the new data comes up, because like I said, we are looking for the most recent enrollment for each STN, and sometimes the most recent one is a year or 2 years behind, because they haven't been in public school for a couple of years, or because the last time they were enrolled in a school was last year, and we haven't gotten this year's data yet. So this is something we're trying to figure out how to correct. And if you guys have any brilliant ideas, I'm sure there are some out there. We would love to hear, because we know we can't just do a grade +1. That won't work. It will in some cases, but it won't in all. So there you go.
Thank you for that. That's good information.
Mm-hmm.
May have missed the information to this, but I've lost connection twice during the Zoom. But parents are completing their student transfer applications on students needing an STN due to being the first time in Oklahoma. Once that STN is assigned, they will will they automatically show up in the student transfer portal for us if we are the receiving district? And Renee, the answer to that is yes, they will. Once the STN has been assigned, it will put them in your queue according to the time and the day that they put that request in.
Another, I think it's funny, another dumb question, which is not dumb at all. in the past, they thought that we would be able to, we were told that transfers we have to approve, staff, military, foster would display, and we would be able to process them over those that are capacity based. But it appears the system, it appears in the system, you have to deny the capacity for one before you can even get to the required. That's not necessarily true. There is a way to process the ones you must process once you're at capacity, right? So the only way you can get to those before you reach capacity is if you process them one at a time. But once you've reached capacity, you still have to accept the other ones. I understand. I didn't make these rules. I'm just telling you what the rules are, how the rules will have to be followed. So I will try to kind of explain to you how that works, and I'll show it to you on a screen on how you can do that. I will try to. I don't know if I can.
Eric, while you're trying to figure that out, Anne wants to know how long it's taking for transfers to show up on the receiving side after a parent enters it in. It depends, Anne. If they need a STN, it won't populate in your system until the STN has been created, and we're still working on that issue.
There's some things, the wave being down is the main issue right now. And they're working on fixing that. Previous to that, there were some hiccups in the STN assignment process. It had nothing to do with the wave being down. But there was some hiccups there and now, so we're all still waiting on those, but those will filter into where they should be once they get the STN assigned.
What if they're don't require an STN, Eric? How long does it take it to transfer from the online to?
I want to say that process runs every couple minutes. It's almost instantaneous. It's API based, so it's almost instantaneous. But I think to limit traffic, they did it every 2 or 3 minutes. So it may take a couple of minutes, but it should be pretty immediate if they already have an STN assigned. I'm not seeing, let me see if I can find something. I may have to prepare something for next week to show you how this works. Because I'm going to get into the middle of trying to show you students that we really shouldn't do in this particular setting. But let me see if I can. Let's see.
Anybody else have any other questions?
I'm gonna have to prepare something for later. There's no way I can do this without sharing student data on the screen, and we can't do that in this type of environment.
No. Okay. Well, if no one else has any other questions, we're actually done with our presentation. So I appreciate everyone for joining. And I do want to reiterate, if there's something that you would like us to address on these weekly waves, please send an email to myself or Eric, and we can definitely include it in our presentation. Did get a couple more questions. I am new to the system. How do I get access to the wave? Good question, Stephanie. You're going to need to, your superintendent would need to, first of all, provide you with that access, and then you would need to contact OMES, and their number is 405-521-2444, and request access to the wave. And you're going to need an affiliates login is what you'll need to request in order to get access to it.
Your next question, Terry, is have new course codes come out, and if so, where are they located? So the answer to the new course codes is not that I am aware of. They have not come out yet. I am literally texting Ryan Piper right now to figure out when they should come out. If they are out, they will be on the accreditation webpage on sde.ok.gov. I'm looking just to see, make sure I'm right that they haven't come out yet. Yeah, they have not been released at this point. So I'm like I said, I just texted Ryan. We'll definitely have an answer for you on that next week.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? Any other comments? We will stop the recording now, and we'll stay on here for a few minutes just so anybody can, if they were feeling